Yeah.
Depending on your league and the scoring, be a lot earlier than that. But if it's a normal league with 6 points, 7 points, 4 points, you probably fourth or fifth round, you can get a good quarterback. But here's the thing, even really late in drafts, you're probably going to find a really good quarterback. I've got a couple guys that are on the radar for me that I don't think would go above the 12th round. And I would take them and play them. I like to have a stud, but if things fell the way they fall and I just had to get a guy that's not a top guy, I really think that Carson Wentz is really, really good.
Really?
I think
fantasy-wise?
I actually think he'll be better this year. I mean, you lose Jordan Matthews, but you do gain Alshon Jeffries, Torrey Smith, and I think that'll really help him out a lot. When you're tossing the old pigskin around, I think those guys are really good. And I mean, Zach Ertz is probably my number one tight end. Pass, your Gronk, Kelsey, and who's the other gentleman? Gronk, Kelsey, and Jordan Reed. If Jordan Reed stays healthy, you know how that goes.
Good luck with that.
You do know how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah. No comment. All right. Now let's say somebody's in a dilemma. You need your quarterback and basically your best options come down to, even though I know you touched on how you feel about Derek Carr, but you got Derek Carr and Matt Ryan.
I would probably go, really Matt Ryan kind of worries me this year.
Yeah.
I mean, coming off last year, he was great, but I think the Shanahan thing and him being gone kind of makes you nervous. Is he going to be,
Who did they bring in to replace Shanahan? Do you know?
I have no clue. I think it was the assistant, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to say anything wrong. So I don't remember exactly who it was.
I mean, why? On the show, I say all kind of things wrong. I'm quoting all kind of sources that I'm not for sure if they're even true.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I would probably go Carr, just because he's a year older, and I think the addition. Look, behind that offensive line, you don't have to be a great running back to have a good year. I mean, I don't think Latavius Murray was a good running back at all, but he had a great year.
Right.
So,
you think Carr is okay from that injury?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be much. I don't think he's going to have any kind of trouble coming back and putting in a good season. I do like Carr. Okay, I'm really like I said, Carson Wentz, and I believe is Brian Hoyer in San Francisco.
I think so. I don't keep up with people like San Francisco.
I believe it is. Hoyer, between Hoyer and McCown. Yeah. They're about the same people to me. But I really think that he could have a really good year this year. And I'm probably my biggest sleeper wide receiver wise is Pierre Garçon.
Really?
Yeah.
If he stays healthy?
I absolutely love Garçon this year. So
wow.
He's
kind of surprised about that.
Yeah, he's my guy. If I've got a chance, I mean, I'm not really going to reach for him, but if he's there,
late round,
where he's supposed to be, yeah, if he's there where he's supposed to be, I'll grab him. But I think he could have definitely a top 25 wide receiver year this year.
Wow. All right.
We got to look. If you look at Shanahan, you're
putting a lot of stock in Shanahan, man.
His number one receivers were, Julio Jones. Not going to say Garçon's going to be in that, in that realm, but I think he could benefit quite a bit from that.
You're putting a lot of stock in Shanahan.
I am. I think that offense last year was crazy.
That offense was crazy last year. I give you that, but I mean, we're talking about. We are talking about San Francisco here.
Well, here's the thing. San Francisco, if you got a new person coming in to run a team, you got to just go on what they do and their stock and how they, how they performed before. I mean, you had Chip Kelly that came there. He just was not a good NFL coach. I mean, he came there, ran his scheme. It didn't really work that well. He came to Philadelphia, traded all the really good players, and that didn't work out really well. Who would have thought that? You trade like your superstars and your team doesn't do that well. But I mean, Shanahan he was pretty good in Washington, and I think that he'll be on that same level here in I don't know how good defensively they're going to be. I don't know if they're going to win a lot of games, but I bet they're offensively they're going to be tossing around a little bit. I mean, for fantasy, that's what you want.
I guess, yeah, you get all the players on the teams who will be losing all the time. That's how you win in fantasy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You want the team. I mean, you want the guys that aren't winning all the time, because, well, depends on what happens during the year. There's a good chance that at the end they're going to be just chilling out at the last game, and that's usually when you need them.
Yeah.
To step up and, be ballers. And sometimes that doesn't happen.
Bam, that's right. All right, our fantasy expert, who's better than yours, Jason the Brain. Now, before I let you go, you had the big show. What was that? About a month ago? The big 1 year anniversary show?
Yeah.
Was that about a month?
Yeah. Our anniversary show.
We got another big one coming up too, don't you?
Oh yeah. We had Badass Billy Gunn. This is our homecoming too. Which last year we had Ricochet, and that was our first big show. Mm-hmm. Ricochet was the first big name that we had coming in for our event.
He was blowing up then. Yeah. He's really blowing up now, right?
Oh, yeah, he's killing it. I mean, a lot of times I always felt like I had a pretty good eye for, I wouldn't say eye for talent, because these guys, when I bring them in, they're already really, really good. But last night was NXT TakeOver in Brooklyn, and probably one of the biggest stars of the night was Kyle O'Reilly, who was here 3 months ago wrestling.
Really?
Came in and did his thing, and yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool to see guys that were just in your hometown now they're on WWE. Matt's been here, Ellsworth now. Billy Gunn was here last month, and he was incredible. Billy was great. I was so happy to have Billy Gunn here, and just his attitude and everything about him. It was awesome. I couldn't say enough good things about Billy. And then next week, we'll have EC3 from Global Force Wrestling come in, which I have to give props to Mr. Jeff Jarrett, who kind of helped us out a little bit there, because originally we had Moose coming in, and Moose, I've booked him before, awesome guy, former NFL offensive lineman, coming in, was coming in to wrestle for us, and he got pulled to wrestle in Mexico, and we were able, with the help of Bob Ryder and Jeff Jarrett, we were able to get EC3 to replace him, which EC3 is he's the grand champion, which is like their intercontinental title there for Global Force. I keep wanting to say TNA, but it's Global Force.
No, just go ahead and call it what it is. TNA. So is that what date do y'all have that coming up?
That is the 26th, which is next Saturday.
Next Saturday. Am I coming? Pause.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, see, the kids done got it started in football, so now we have Saturday football practices, and we're fixing to start playing games on September the 2nd.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so it's fixing to go down.
Nice. Well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
I will be trying to do a little something here.
You'll be stressing out.
I know we talked last time. It was kind of crazy because we used to get together, and I used to write kind of mini storylines for our backyard wrestling, kind of. I guess you can call it backyard wrestling, but whatever we did in a trailer park at your cousin's house.
Those stories are for another show.
Okay. Okay.
So,
I thought you were going to talk about the first ever bra and panty match. So we'll talk about that.
That's another show, dude. That's not for this one. That's definitely not for this one. All right, now, anybody who's trying to get this expert information that you're throwing out, how can they reach you?
I tell you what, you can be a fan at Cape Championship Wrestling on Facebook. Send us a message and ask for it. And even though it's a wrestling site, I'll give it to you. I'll let you know what's up.
Got you. That's why they call him Jason.
And that'll
Brain.
just get us more fans. It's a win-win for everybody.
All right.
Yeah. There ain't nothing wrong with win-win.
You sure?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. So, all right, before I let you go, how many leagues are you winning this year? How many leagues are you in already this year first?
Actually, this year I've kind of slowed down a little bit. I think I'm only in like 6. But of course, I plan on winning all 6. But probably time it ends up, I'll be in about 15 is the goal for this year. A little bit down from last year just because I got more stuff going on with wrestling and other things. But I still think that I still have a little bit of time. Thanks to DirecTV hooking me up with that Sunday ticket.
All right. Now, are you going to end up winning all of the leagues this year?
I'm going to try my best.
Actually, our league, I said, are you going to
probably the one I've been least successful in.
This is true. This is true. You win every league except for ours.
Yeah, and I'm always in the playoffs. I feel like I'm in the playoffs the majority of the time. It's just time it gets to playoffs, things happen and just doesn't work out the way I planned every time. I thought one year that I think I lost. Did I lose? I didn't go undefeated, but I
almost did. No, you won that year.
Yeah, I won a majority of the. I mean, that was when I got Peyton Manning in like the 7th round or something like that. Something crazy.
And that was the year.
And that was the year that he did his thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. One more thing before I let you go. Any big surprises for SummerSlam tonight?
I really think we could see Undertaker screw Roman Reigns.
Oh my God, that'd be so great. That's gonna be so great. I'm fixing to get me a free trial and watch tonight.
Or I could see Dean Ambrose turning heel on his good former friend Seth Rollins.
You know what? I thought it was gonna be Seth, and I didn't think about it. But now that you throw Ambrose out there, that makes sense. One of them's turning. They're not staying together.
Yeah, no, it's just too late, and it's about time for Ambrose to. He's gotten quite boring with his character, in my opinion. I never was a big Dean fan. I mean, I kind of got at first. It was kind of, I can get the attitude. That's cool. I see the rebellious, but man, it's just got to that point where it's like, I got you, man. So boring,
But
something.
Really, when it was the Shield, everybody was like, Roman was the guy that was going to do it, and then Ambrose was kind of like second.
I was always a Rollins fan before I was Ambrose.
Well, we're not talking about you.
I always enjoyed the guys that would fly all over the place and flip. And, I mean, really, that whole little thing they did with Evolution and the feud they had, I really think, turned his whole career around because he really showed out there in that. I mean, people were like, oh, my God, this guy's flipping and flying everywhere. And I think that made him stand out above the rest of the guys. Because, I mean, Roman, he's going to do what he does. I don't think there's much difference in his game depending on what's happening any day. But Seth is a guy that can pretty much wrestle any style. So I think that's pretty cool. And
when are they going to give him his pushback and let him get the title?
Oh, they'll probably keep away from that for a long time. I think they got to go through all this other stuff with Roman Reigns,
garbage.
Lesnar, Samoa Joe, I think is his place in a top role. So
did Joe win the title tonight?
No, I think Lesnar's going to retain. I'm going Lesnar with the retaining of the title.
Should I be shocked if Roman Reigns ends up being champion after tonight?
You shouldn't be shocked, no, because if they don't pull the trigger on the Taker thing, I think that he could be that guy that's right in line for it and pushing him to a match with Strowman at WrestleMania or Royal Rumble, yada, yada, yada. Not very exciting for me. I do like Braun Strowman, though. Much props. I think he's I'm not a big fan of big guys, and the strongman wrestling, but I really believe that he's created quite a